So this time ethics has also been asked at the paper. Question number 76 of set D. It says that Mr. X, a senior officer, was overseeing a critical vaccination program during a pandemic. Okay, he found that a private service provider who was responsible for vaccine distribution was compromising on quality to make profit. Now, despite the immense pressure to manage the issue due to vested interest, he raised his voice on the principles of public administration. When you study the 7th part of your syllabus, where they are talking about the administrative ethics, so it mentions specifically that the principles of public administration are based on Yogashima, or the welfare state. Okay, here very clearly in our classes we will be discussing about the Saptang theory in very brief of Kautilya, where he says that in the welfare of the subject lies the welfare of the king. So in the welfare state, which among the following principles of public administration was strongly depicted by Mr. X? Let's see over here. Although all these are somehow related to welfare and development of the state, but we have to find the most appropriate answer over here. Esprit de corps. Now this is related to a team spirit. Okay, when a bureaucrat is working together, जैसे कहीं पे कोई भी आपदा आ जाती है, disaster, तो in that case he is coordinating very well with the senior and the junior, right? So definitely this is not equity. Now, equity means fairness. It is providing equality of opportunities to everyone and the marginalized sections of the society. So here again, this is not the appropriate answer. Accountability. Okay, now understand, accountability is a two-way process. It ensures that you upheld some kind of responsibility, and when you take the responsibility, also you are answerable about it, right? It is against the monolithic power. So this will be the most appropriate option over here. Delegation. Delegation means when you are delegating some of the work to your juniors, right? So the appropriate answer is accountability, which means pardarshita. Is it clear? Now, when you will be studying the last part of administrative ethics, वहां पे आप देखेंगे कि एक टॉपिक है आपका जहां पे हम बात करते हैं how the accountability is brought into the governance. We will see it is Right to Information Act, right? Citizen Charter Bill. Second ARC has specifically mentioned about Sevotam model, and these are all the external check methods. Supreme Court, right? CAG is upholding the financial accountability, but there has to be certain kind of internal check. जिस तरह से कौटिल्य बात करते हैं कि एक मछली मटके में कितना पानी पीती है ये पता नहीं चल पाता है, similarly it is very hard to find how much the corrupt practices are going on. So what is required? That there is internal accountability in the bureaucrat. And now this comes with a proper value training system. और जब आपको ये self realize हो जाता है that why you came to this services, your question of why is very important over here. Is it clear? The answer over here most appropriate is accountability. Now this will bring accountability in governance. Okay, question number 77 of set D. In a multi-ethnic district. Okay, now this question again talks about there is a dilemma in decision making. Now again this is a part of your syllabus in mains ethics. What is happening over here where both economic competition and historical grievances, these lead to the community tension over here, right? A flashpoint has arisen with a government decision to allocate land for a waste management facility near a tribal hamlet. Now, this is coming, there is a clash. You see, now this is a case study. What you are going to do? ये करें या ये करें? एक bureaucrat का approach क्या होगा? A balanced approach, right? You have to take a decision which is most appropriate at that point of time. So it is mentioning sparking protests by tribal community which claimed that the land was sacred and critical to their cultural identity. So you have to ensure that there is protection of their cultural identity, there is protection of minority rights, which is specifically mentioned in our constitution, upholding the constitutional morality, and also you have to also look for the welfare of the urban people. At the same time, urban residents and local industries supported the project, citing severe solid waste challenge and health concern. तो आपको health concern भी देखना है, ठीक है? Due to lack of proper disposal site, the conflict has escalated. क्या हो गया है? रोड ब्लॉकेजेस हो गई हैं, सोशल मीडिया कैंपेन्स चलने लगे हैं, एलिगेशंस होने लगे हैं कि पुलिस बहुत ज्यादा एक्सेस कर रही है. अब what happens in your district as a responsible government, आप जब वहां पे posted हैं, so you have to resolve the situation through mediation and ensure that there is a sustainable outcome. आपको balance करना है environmental needs, tribal rights and urban public health. तो conflict resolution हमारे ethics के मेंस के कौन से syllabus में आता है? इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, राइट? जब आप इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस में डेनियल गोल्डमैन का मॉडल पढ़ेंगे, नाउ ही स्पेसिफिकली मेंशंस अबाउट somebody who is self-aware of first himself, his emotions, right? Who has good empathy skills, who has self-regulation, and who can channelize the emotions very well, right? Social skills. Now this conflict resolution is part of social skills of Daniel Goleman. So ये question किससे related है? A bureaucrat over here has to have very high emotional intelligence. और कोई भी conflict resolution का तरीका क्या होता है? Dialogue, listening and dialogue. A bureaucrat with high emotional intelligence will always be a patient and a good listener. ठीक है, जब आप आधी समस्या तो ऐसे ही सॉल्व हो जाती है जब आप लोगों की बातें सुनते हैं, right? The public has this perception, yes, they are listening to us. Now they look forward for the welfare of them, right? A successful conflict resolution process must begin with acknowledging the cultural concerns of the protesting tribal community. आप tribal community के जो heads हैं उनको बुला के आप क्या करें, उनको acknowledge करें, उनसे discuss करें चीजों को, ठीक है? कोई भी एक्शन लेने से पहले आप ये काम करें. दूसरी चीज, गवर्नमेंट शुड मूव अहेड विद द प्रोजेक्ट विदाउट डिले to address the urban health concern which outweigh the sentiments of the small group. Now understand that you can't ignore the tribal rights. हमारे संविधान में मेंशन किया है ना, लास्ट माइल कनेक्टिविटी. अगर आप इसको कांत के नजर से देखें, डिओन्टोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव, सो इट इज योर ड्यूटी not only to protect the urban people but also the rights of the tribal people. You have to maximize, अगर यूटिलिटेरियन पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें, maximize the good for maximum number of people. जितने लोगों का अच्छा कर सकते हैं आपको ऐसा रास्ता निकालना है, तो ऐसे में कोई भी डिसीजन बहुत जल्दी में नहीं लेना चाहिए. So this will not be the appropriate option over here. Creating a multi-stakeholder dialogue platform. Yes, this is a very good approach to conflict resolution. इसमें क्या होता है, आप हर तरीके के स्टेक होल्डर्स को इन्वॉल्व करते हो, आप उनके इनपुट लेते हो. नाउ दिस लीड्स टू इंक्लूसिव डेमोक्रेसी, पार्टिसिपेटरी डेमोक्रेसी, सिटीजन सेंट्रिक डेमोक्रेसी. यू अंडरस्टैंड? इंक्लूडिंग द ट्राइबल लीडर्स, यस. Environmental experts, yes. Municipal representatives, yes. Dialogue. Remember, there can be dissent in democracy. I can always disagree with what you say, but you have the right to say. So if all these people are included, they have their voice. ठीक है, सबके अपने अपने नजरिए होंगे. This will lead to mutual understanding among all of them. Definitely, and help the de-escalate the tension. This is right. Next, conduct an independent environmental and social impact assessment. Yes, and share the findings transparently both the sides. This is also right over here. So the option over here will be 1, 3 and 4. Is it clear how we have related it to emotional intelligence and the conflict resolution mechanism? Okay, next question over here is 78. Miss X is a mid-level civil service official working in urban department of a major city. Recently, she involved in approving a contract for public infrastructure project, which is a new community park. Now, during the approval process, she received a piece of confidential information indicating that one of the shortlisted contractor, he has a history of poor workmanship and allegations of corruptions in other city, though nothing has been legally proven. Okay, so let's proceed further. The head of the department, now this is the second half, you always break the paragraph while you are solving such questions in case study also when you will be solving your UPSC mains paper 4. Head of the department, Mr. Y, advised her not to disclose the information to the project committee or public because it could delay the project and damage the city's reputation. Now again, she is in a dilemma. What path should I choose over here? However, Miss X believed that withholding such information, it will compromise the transparency and public trust. Again, this is a part of administrative ethics section. So what among the following should Miss X do? अब क्या करना चाहिए उसको? Immediately disclose the information to the project committee and the public. You can't do that because in public administration, you study a thinker, Max Weber. He mentions that there is a line change of hierarchy and command. You can't supersede your seniors immediately and you can directly give away the commands because that is going to create concentration of power. अगर आपने एक बार ऐसा डिसीजन ले लिया तो दोबारा भी आप ले सकते हैं और कोई और दूसरे सिनेरियो में भी ले सकता है, राइट? You are bound with the code of conduct which is mentioned in your civil services rules. Is it clear? तो ये directly आप नहीं कर सकते हैं. Recommend removing the contractor from shortlist to protect the project's integrity. Now see, you are a public official, right? It is not that you're owning some business or something. As a public official, too much of power in one person, okay, again that tends to create a dictatorship phenomena. Maybe it's not with Miss S, but it can happen with someone. So unilaterally, again, she cannot take a decision to remove a person like this. Now, propose a limited disclosure to the oversight committee while keeping the information confidential from the public for time being. अब ये सबसे सही रास्ता है कि आपने कमिटी को बता भी दिया और आपने पब्लिक को भी ओपनली डिस्क्लोज नहीं किया. You kept the integrity of head of department, which Mr. Y, who had specifically said if we disclose it to public, ये क्या करेगा? सिटी की रेपुटेशन खराब करेगा. आपने बीच का रास्ता चुना. आपने probity in public services ensure कि यहाँ पे, ठीक है, this will lead to accountability and transparency. Okay, is it clear? So the answer over here will be C. Okay, next question is very interesting. It is little mix of polity knowledge. हम लोग लक्ष्मीकांत सब पढ़ते हैं, ठीक है, उसमें specifically there is a chapter fundamental rights on article 13. It mentions that X was addressing a seminar on the meaning of term law as provided under article 13 part 3 of the constitution. X explained the meaning of the term law in the Constitution of India. It was very comprehensive. He says it included ordinances, yes, yes, orders, and even rules and regulations. If you see in Lakshmikant, they've specifically discussed article 12, article 13 before starting off the right to equality. Y pointed out that the term law in article 13 also included custom or usage having in territory of India the force of law, okay, to which X was not convinced. Now, both X and Y are correct over here. Why? Because this one is absolutely right, what Mr. X has said. What Mr. Y has said is specifically mentioned in Article 13(3)(a), right? This is also the part of law, force of law. But what is wrong in this question is to which X was not convinced. X is right in what he is saying, but X is wrong in not agreeing with the Y. So individually X is right, Y is right, but X is not supporting the statement of Y over here. Okay, so the answer over here is X is correct in the interpretation of law. Yes, he is correct, including the view of non-inclusion of custom. Now this part is wrong. This part is right, this part is wrong. Whole statement becomes wrong over here. The view of Y that law included the customs is not correct. This is also wrong. It includes, I've just told, Article 13(3)(a). The view of both X and Y are correct. The view of only Y is correct over here. Now understand, view of X is correct in terms of the definition of law, but X ने ये भी तो बोला है जो Y ने कहा है वो गलत है, तो वो व्यू भी तो गलत है ना X का itself, क्योंकि अब X ने दो व्यूज दिए हैं, एक अपना लॉ के बारे में बताया है, लॉ की डेफिनेशन, और दूसरा उसने Y के व्यू को कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट किया है. तो X की पहली बात तो सही है, पर X की दूसरी बात यहाँ पे गलत है, Y सही है. The view of only Y is correct. ये tricky है, इसमें बच्चे गलती करेंगे. Answer over here is D. Is it clear? Further, we are coming up with our free ethics marathon video on the YouTube for those students with the PYQ discussions. You can watch them in another 2-3 days. I'll be releasing it. Apart from that, a fresh batch for life ethics classes who are appearing for these mains have been started along with the essay improvement program and also the test series. It's approximately of 1 month. For further details, just stay connected, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.